darn at the high schools for a quarterback.
Whatever he wants, it's right
Or like Chicago cut bad.
That's saying something.
Call the meeting to order. For those who care to, please rise for an opening prayer and a salute to the flag. I don't want to hit it with the gavel. I just want to make sure it's on. There we go. Put bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and thank you for the time we get to spend together. Thank you for this community and blessing us. Allow us to do the things that you want us to do, make the decisions that you want us to make. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On a few announcements, September 8th, the city consultants who are preparing a transportation master plan will begin incorporating the input from the mayor and city council. This will be a two-tier approach with person-to-person meetings during the day with elected officials as availability allows, and a workshop immediately prior to that evening's city council session. Also on the evening of September 8th, the public meeting will be held at the community center to solicit additional feedback from residents. Outreach efforts for the public meeting and scheduling with elected officials will begin in the next few days. Certainly want to encourage everyone to make that. Been to a couple of these over the years, and they're quite informative about transportation in general in and around the city and in and around the area. So please plan on attending that. Also want to say our condolences to Mr. Gary Wilson in passing of his brother, John. Sorry about that, sir. At the same time, we also want to recognize your birthday on August 20th. No.
That's sympathy card.
Sympathy card, that's fine. I'll do that. Sorry, I didn't know when your birthday was. Apparently they just do not inform me of these things. That's okay. Wouldn't be the first time. Mr. Lynn Hollinsworth, however, does have a birthday on August 29th.
I didn't sign Gary's.
So, anyway, that's I think all the announcements I want to
You
thank.
got one other one.
And one other one.
It's not on your list?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, before we get to that.
Oh.
Thanks, Mr. Harder, for filling in while I was gone last
No,
session.
that was not
It was
it.
rough. It was rough.
That was not it.
You were right.
We had a rough time.
Let's not lie here.
This is you don't get the lettering, you just get a blank card.
A blank
But
card.
this is the meeting prior to your birthday, and we
That's
cannot
true.
pass up singing happy birthday to the
you're
mayor.
not.
So on behalf, oh yes, we are. Dan Harder is very well prepared for this, so you can have your own birthday card and a rendition of happy birthday.
Lord, let me write my name on it first. Mayor,
We didn't have time for the
Hold
mayor,
on.
Buckner, but
Got
we
it
did get the card sealed
right
and
there, got
signed
it.
for
Thank
you.
you,
So,
thank you.
well, happy birthday and
Happy birthday to
Hold
you.
on.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mayor. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much. Bing Crosby would be proud. I'll tell you right now.
Ms. Poole, you want to say you know how old he is or anything?
Do I what?
You want to add how old? You know how old he is, right?
Everybody knows how old he is.
I thought you wanted to get back at him a little bit. So.
If I did, I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't want him to do it to me.
There you go.
Touche.
He's older than his hair.
You can count them and they'll probably be equal. I'll be 47, thank you very much, on September 2nd. So for those of you who really care, thank you, Mr. Krishke, appreciate that, and council members, appreciate that. And, Mr. Harder, for your birthday, I'm sure we're going to chip in and get some voice lessons. Anyway, we're going to better go on to the next new business. Thank you very much. Save your money. Very nice, very nice. All right. I'd like to open a public hearing of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri regarding setting the 2014 property tax levies for the City of Republic, Missouri. Well, welcome, Laura. Please give us an overview.
Well, this comes around the same time every year that we need to set property tax levies. These are the 2014, and they have to be set by September the 1st in order for us to levy property taxes. The city has 3 tax levies for general, Parks and Rec, and for street lighting. And it was published in the Republic Monitor on August 13th, so we met the public hearing notice requirement. And this includes information that was provided to us by the Greene and Christian County assessors as to what the assessed valuations are. We did have an increase of the property valuation overall by 1.8%, but how these levies run is that we compare it without any new property and any annexed property, which did take our total back down and make it comparable to where we were in 2013. And as a city, we are to remain revenue neutral, so we are only allowed to gain by the lower of the increase of permitted reassessment growth, which ended up being 0.1798% for us this year, or the CPI, which was 1.5%, or a 5%. And so we lucked out and got the growth of $1,700, $1,746 actually, between the three taxes. So saying that doesn't increase our valuation that much over where we were last year. So it doesn't change our property tax levies, and so they will remain at the same level as they were for 2013, in total of 0.6173.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone wishing to speak for this particular public hearing, please step forward, state your name, sign in, give us your best 3 minutes. Seeing none, anyone wishing to speak against this particular public hearing, please step forward, state your name, sign in, give us your best 3 minutes. Seeing none, public hearing closed. I'd like to open it up now to citizen participation. Anyone wishing to speak to anything not on the agenda, please step forward, state your name, sign in, and give us your best 3 minutes. Seeing none, citizen participation closed. Need a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. On the financial report, welcome back, Laura.
I'm back.
It's your show tonight.
I guess so for
Please
now.
give us an overview on the financial report.
Well, it's a positive one, which you have in front of you, for the sales tax. The sales tax is 10.41% over where it was last year at this time. So anytime we talk about increases like this, then that's always good news. The motor fuel tax collections, it's just barely, it's almost 1% over where we were last year at this time. So it's not increasing as much as it did there. It took off when they allowed the reassessment of it back in 2012, and we just haven't seen that much growth since then. So, but at least it's holding its own.
Questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? Seeing none, need a motion to approve financial report.
Motion?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? That motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Krischke, anything, sir?
One quick thing, Councilmember Mendez asked for me to tell council about an open house that's going to be this coming Wednesday at noon. It's for the new WIC and Jordan Valley Community Health Center location there in the McAllister's and Village Inn Shopping Center there, right a couple doors down from McAllister's. They've been busy getting their infill work done, and they're planning for their open house business opening this coming Wednesday. They're having kind of a ribbon cutting with the chamber, I believe, and that's at noon on Wednesday, and we just wanted me to pass it on for anybody that could come.
Okay, thank you, sir. On future community events? Mr. Keeling. If you can't get by the two chiefs, just kick them.
I just about fell into Mr. Love's lap there. I was so embarrassed.
How's the heat been working on the,
It's working. Good. It's good for pool attendance.
I was
so.
going to say, pool attendance
It's
has got
almost
to be,
borderline too hot though. If that could even be possible, but
that's been pretty hot.
it's
so.
been good. So. Future community events for the remainder of August into September. August the 25th through September the 12th, we're currently taking registration for our youth girls basketball program. That's for grades K through 6, and the season begins on September 29th. We're also taking registration for fall adult volleyball. That season begins on September the 18th. On Wednesday, August the 27th, we have the start of our senior Wii bowling. It's at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon, 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock. August the 28th is senior movie day. That's showing Gravity. 3 p.m. Free popcorn and coffee are provided. August the 28th through October the 2nd is toddler tumbling. We offer a 5:30 session and a 6:30 session. Pre-registration is required. August the 29th, Friday, is Todd Academy, 10:30 a.m. That's for ages 2 to 5. City offices will be closed this coming Monday on Labor Day, September the 1st. Next event at the AMP will be on Saturday, September the 6th. That's a musical performance by the Innuendo Band, and we'll be showing the movie Twister. If you might remember, Innuendo was the opening band for Have a Blast. They were very good. September 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th is Toddler Open Gym. That's at 10 a.m. There'll be no Toddler Open Gym on September 1st or the Labor Day holiday. September 8th through the 26th is registration for our youth girls fall volleyball program. That's for grades 3 through 8. September 9th through November 13th is AFEP, Arthritis Foundation Exercise Program classes. Those classes are free and held at 1:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. September 12th through October 3rd is Todd Academy. It's at 10:30 a.m. Pre-registration is required. Friday, September the 12th is our second annual Senior Citizen Prom. That's at 5 p.m. at the Republic Community Center. Had our first one last year. It was a very unique and good event, so I'm looking forward to that. September 15th through October the 3rd is registration for fall adult basketball. That season begins October the 15th. September 19th, Schools Out program. That's for ages 6 or in kindergarten through 12. That program runs from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. September 20th is our Kids Night at the AMP. There's going to be a performance by the Fishin' Magicians, and following with showing the movie Finding Nemo. September 25th is our next senior movie day after Gravity. It's at 3 p.m. and that movie is yet to be announced.
Thank you, sir. How's the aquatic center doing?
Doing well. I'll provide everybody with an end of season financial report, but doing well. When the weather's been hot, which it wasn't early in the year, but when the weather's hot, we still pack them in, which is good.
How'd we do in the Tiger Tribe?
Tiger Tribe was good. Our numbers were down a little bit. That's same statewide, but still the event itself is wonderful. We actually landed a drone, and it took overhead video of the whole thing, and it is amazing. It's on republictigertribe.com if you'd like to look at that, but it is really good. And we're going to use it for more than just event promo press, but it really shows off Miller Park well. It was well done. So
Very nice. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for the update. On to board commissions and committee schedules. Board of Adjustment September 4th. Capital Improvements September 24th. City Council September 8th and September 22nd. Planning and Zoning September 15th. On to old business. Need a motion to have the second read of bill number 14-17.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending Title IV Land Use, Chapter 405 Zoning Regulations for City of Republic, Article 1 in general, Section 405.020 Definitions, and Article 8 Special Use Regulations, Section 405.670 generally.
Thank you. Need a motion to have final approval of bill number 14-17.
Motion. Second.
Motion second. Mr. Tyson, welcome, sir. Please give us an overview.
I'll keep this abbreviated since this will be the third time I've given this overview, but as you all know, in order to operate a group daycare home, which is caring for between 6 and 10 children from your place of residence, you must obtain a special use permit. Part of the process for obtaining a special use permit is requirements for legal notices to be published in the local newspaper, as well as sent by certified mail to all property owners within 185 feet of the location of the proposed group daycare home. It also requires 2 public hearings, one before the Planning and Zoning Commission, who then hears the testimony at that public hearing and then makes a recommendation to the City Council, who also holds a public hearing at the same time of the first reading of that ordinance. That ordinance then goes on to second read and final passage, and if approved, the proposed group daycare home is then authorized. This bill number 14-17, would eliminate that process. It would no longer be required to have a special use permit to operate a group daycare home. Rather, all you would need is a home occupation license, which is issued by a city clerk. That means no public hearings, no legal notices, no paper publication. It would simply be more or less an administrative duty handled by staff.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments, discussion from council? Mr. Clinton-Beard.
Because I know Garrett enjoys giving that overview so many times, I'd like to make a motion to table this till the next meeting with the absence of Councilman Mendez.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second to table until we have a full council. Let's just put it that. Was that what?
Yes,
Okay.
till next council meeting. Hopefully that will be a full council.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Let's try that again with the hands. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
2, 3, 4. All opposed, no.
No.
1, 2, 3. Motion carries 4-3. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Tyson. You got another one.
okay.
It's all right. We'll go on to the next item.
Take it up with Mendez.
Need a motion to have the second reading of bill number 14-20.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? The motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending Chapter 130 Republic City Code, Municipal Court, Article 2, Court Costs and Fees, by amending Section 130.250 Court Costs to add a $10 surcharge.
Need a motion to have final approval of bill number 14-20.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Kathy never hit me on the same.
It's all right. Mr. Krischke, will you give us the overview, sir?
I will.
Thank you.
On August 28th, there was a change made at the state legislature that allows for municipal court to collect an additional $10 surcharge as part of their court costs. In order to do that, we have to pass the proper ordinances to be able to put that in place. Currently, we have a municipal court cost of $24.50. If the $10 is approved, that court cost would go to $34.50. That would collect an estimated $30,000 in an annual calendar year, and that would be used for operating expenses, security, maintenance, all for the municipal court. So it is restrictive to those particular types of uses, so it wouldn't be able to be used by the general fund, but it would be strictly for those issues of the municipal court.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Krischke? Anything at all? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Clinkenbeard,
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson,
Aye.
Councilmember Melton,
Aye.
Councilmember Brashears,
Aye.
Councilmember Harder,
Aye.
Councilmember Poole,
Aye.
Councilmember Harrelson,
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much. Need a motion to have the second reading of bill number 14-21.
Motion. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, annexing approximately 245 acres known as the Lakes at Schuyler Ridge Plot Assignment District, as well as certain rights of way connected to that real property located in Greene County, Missouri.
I'd like to have a motion for final approval of bill number 14-21.
Motion. Second.
Motion second. Mr. Tyson, welcome, sir.
Thank you. Bill number 14-21 will annex approximately 245 acres known as the Lakes at Schuyler Ridge Plot Assignment District currently located in Greene County. This development was first conceived probably over 10 years ago now, and in 2005 the City of Republic entered into an agreement with the original developer as well as Greene County to provide water and wastewater services to this development, and other terms of that agreement included that the City Council would eventually consider the annexation of this development. Over the years, a lot of things have changed. There's now a successor developer that controls the Lakes at Schuyler Ridge Plot Assignment District, and they now desire that the City Council would consider the annexation of this 245 acres, which is illustrated in your packets and also here on this larger map. It will include all of this, found here by yellow, as well as the rights-of-way of Williamsburg Walk and Farm Road 89 from approximately this point all the way down to County Line Road. This is Main Avenue, this is Miller Avenue, and here is the 245 acres. The development is proposed to have 517 medium-density single-family residential lots in this area here. 162 of those lots have already been developed and platted. 98 homes have been built already on those 162 lots. This 30 acres, approximately 30 acres here, is planned for local commercial development. Though this was developed while it was in Greene County and not within our corporate limits, the terms of the development agreement called for that the development would, as far as streets, water, sanitary sewer, stormwater, everything would be done to the City of Republic specifications. That way it would help with future annexation. So the development as it is now meets our specifications. The plans for the residential and the local commercial development also conform to our present zoning codes. They're nearly identical, so there's not a lot of transition problem. The terms of the PAD will stay intact. We will bring it in as a planned development district into the city, and those terms will still hold except as they are modified by the development agreement, which will be considered later tonight.
Questions, comments, discussion for Garrett?
Can I add one more thing to that?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know at which particular point anyone may be interested in this, but attached to my report, there was a couple of questions at the last meeting from the few that did attend from the Lakes of Schuyler Ridge subdivision about the differences in taxes that would occur once they're in the city versus where they stay within the county. This will give you an outline. There's a couple of pages there, but property taxes, Garrett did report on that last meeting. There's three different scenarios. It's roughly 6.8% difference. It's about $130 per year is what their taxes would increase, property taxes that would be. And that is all to do with the change from the assessment for the Brookline Fire Protection District being removed, and then in its place, the City of Republic's assessment would go in place. And of course, with that, they would be getting the city fire and police protection. So with that change, it would be about $127 additional per household out there. Somebody also mentioned about the city sales tax. That comes into effect for vehicles and utilities. The city sales tax is 2.375%. So that would be the portion of city sales tax that they would be required whenever they purchase a new vehicle, and then on certain utilities as well. On the opposite side of things, there is no personal property tax within the City of Republic, but there would be a personal property tax if they stayed in the county. That is 0.254 for $100 of assessed valuation. So every vehicle they would have, every motorcycle, boat, trailer, what have you, that would be subject to personal property taxes, they would have to pay a tax for that. The way the assessed valuation would work, if they had about $30,000 in vehicles, that would equate to about a $25 annual personal property tax. And that would be, individual case by case. There's also the savings when the city already, in a show of good faith, went ahead and issued an ordinance removing the surcharge for the residents of Lakes of Schuyler Ridge. That was a 50% surcharge that was removed. That saves each of the average homeowners out there roughly $69 per month. And that's not to the penny at all, but that's some of the users out there are quite heavy users, some of them aren't, but they're all irrigation systems for the most part. On average, it would be about $70 per month that everyone saves from being on the city rates for water and sewer service. ISO ratings, talked to the insurance, one of the insurance brokers here in town. Coming into the city, they'd be gaining our ISO ratings, and this would be a very rough figure. They were saying that there can't be anything exact with this, but their best guess would be a savings about $150 per year on their homeowner's insurance. And then there's also resident discounts that you could receive at the Parks and Recs programs as well. So there are, of course, savings and additional costs on both sides of the fence. Didn't do a side-by-side comparison for a typical house, but just glancing it over, it's depending on when you would buy a vehicle per se, there wouldn't be a whole lot difference.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Harrelson?
Aye.
Councilmember Poole?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Councilmember Brashears?
Aye.
Councilmember Melton?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson?
Aye.
Councilmember Clinkenbeard?
Aye.
Motion clears by 7-0. Thank you. On the next item, bill number, I'd like to have a motion to have the second reading of bill number 14-22.
Motion. Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to enter into a development agreement with Shula Ridge LLC regarding annexation and development of properties known as the Lakes of Shula Ridge Development.
Mr. Britton, need a motion to have final passage of bill number 14-22.
Motion. Second.
Motion is second.
All right, this one is mine, actually.
Mr.
I mean, I
Krischke.
jumped the gun there. This is the developer's agreement that Garrett referred to. This is in conjunction with the annexation. This just further outlines the responsibilities of all of the parties. The developer has responsibilities that they need to adhere to throughout the rest of the development, and the city also has some requirements as well, although most of that would be on the developer. One of the main portions of this is going to be the city will obtain the funding for a new storm siren for that area. That will be paid to the city. The cost of that storm siren and installation will be paid to the city over 4 installments over the next year. So sometime around this time next year, maybe in the spring, we'll go ahead and get the storm siren installed. And there's also important to the city is clarification on where the particular easements and right-of-ways will be for roadway improvements and utilities. And that covers everything in detail in this developer's agreement.
Thank you, sir. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Krischke? Anything at all? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Clinkenbeard?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson?
Aye.
Councilmember Melton?
Aye.
Councilmember Brashears?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Councilmember Poole?
Aye.
Councilmember Harrelson?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much. On the next item, I'd like to have a motion, have second reading of bill number 14-23.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. And Mr. Wilson flustered, sir. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstention? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental cooperative agreement with Greene County for a cooperative project to construct road improvements to Southland Avenue and Farm Road 89.
Motion to have final approval, bill number 14-23.
Motion.
Second.
Welcome, Mr. Brock. Give us an overview, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a companion piece to the previous two agenda items. This is an intergovernmental agreement between the City of Republic and Greene County and covers a cooperative cost share program or project to improve Lynn Avenue between just south of Elizabeth Street to Williamsburg Walk. I'll just hit the highlights in the agreement quickly. This IGA supersedes the original June 2005 agreement between the city and the county. Will result in the construction of a 22-foot wide roadway, two-lane road with no curb and gutter. Between those project limits, it is 50/50. The city's reimbursement will take place in two steps. One would be a payment of $125,000 the first spring after the project is completed, and then the balance is due the following spring. And attachment to the agreement has an estimated project cost of $432,000. So the city's second payment then is expected to be somewhere around $91,000. It does have terms included in there in the event City Council does not annex the property, but I believe that issue is moot at this point. And it does include provisions such that if condemnation is necessary inside the city limits, then that would be the City of Republic's responsibility to undertake. If condemnation is needed in the county will undertake that portion.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Brock? Anything at all? Budgeted, Mr. Brock?
We have $125,000 budgeted this year. Does not look like we'll be making that payment, so you'll see that in the 2015 proposal as well.
Thank you, sir. Anything else, Councilman? Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Harrelson?
Aye.
Councilmember Poole?
Aye.
Councilmember Carter?
Aye.
Councilmember Brashears?
Aye.
Councilmember Melton?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson?
Aye.
Councilmember Clinkenberry?
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you very much. On to new business. I'd like to have a motion to have the first reading of Bill number 14-24.
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending Chapter 215, Republic City Code Offenses, Article 4, Offenses Concerning Public Peace, by amending Section 215.320, Unlawful Use of Projectile Weapon, to clarify exceptions.
Thank you, Brenda. Welcome, Chief. Give us the overview, sir.
As some of you may be aware, we've had at least a few citizen complaints where people feel uncomfortable in their own neighborhoods when they're looking around seeing archery targets or people practicing with bow and arrows for whether it's deer season or whatever else. And of course, some of the other things. Our existing ordinance is somewhat ambiguous until we actually have a projectile leave the boundaries of a person's property. There's nothing that we can do. So we aren't in a position to be preventative or proactive, and there aren't really very good guidelines. So Mr. Derrickson has diligently researched some other examples and put together the example in front of you, which would say that a residential property or other property would have to have 3 acres in order to be able to utilize a projectile weapon, and that the projectile weapon that is discharged could not leave the enclosed boundaries of that 3 acres, so it would put any other persons or property in jeopardy. That would exclude any, say, school-sponsored, if they started air rifle competition or archery competitions or that type of clubs, or if the city through the rec department sponsored some types of activities, or if somebody else got a special use permit, that was something that you could authorize.
Thank you, Chief. Questions, comments, discussion for Chief Lowe.
Can you clarify
projectile weapons?
Well, there's a set of definitions, but pretty much it's going to not be under the firearm side. It's going to be under the arrows being shot from either a crossbow or a sling or a compound bow or a straight bow. Then it would be pellets shot through a 177 or 22 caliber pellet rifle or any other size. It would be a BB that you're familiar with. It would be a type of slingshot. And then it kind of goes into what your imagination is, because people can make their own creative things with their own shops. You could easily develop something using pipes and compressed air containers to discharge ball bearings or anything else.
Thank you.
And this topic came up due to a phone call that we had received from one of the residents with a concern over the use of bow and arrows within a pretty high-density residential neighborhood. So this person, I thought they would have been here this evening, but I don't see anybody here, so.
I told him he couldn't talk.
Oh, okay, well, and then you may have a little more information, but they were very concerned about the chance in a very urban area that an arrow could be misfired. And in this particular case, there was a neighbor that was shooting in a direction of a backyard playground area where that person's children had been playing, and they were concerned with their kids out in their backyard playing when somebody was out there doing either target practice, and from what I understand, you can actually sight in these bow and arrows too for your hunting season, and I know that's quite popular. So that's where this came from, and this is in response to that concern, realizing that it really wasn't particularly clear and precise when it came to that particular topic.
Starter?
I know, correct me if I'm wrong, they can sight in their weapon at the police range, a shooting range?
No, sir.
They can, okay, thank you.
But right down in Billings, there's the Springfield Rifle Bench Rest Club that people can go down there and shoot, and there's one, there's several of them around the areas that are Bodark's Andy Dalton range that are within close proximity. Plus, we've got a few farmers around here that I'm sure allow people, so that there are adequate designed facilities for that within short driving distance.
Thank you very much.
Mr.
On your first question, I think the way that it was worded was any object that could produce injury or death as far as the projectile. And then to clarify, when I told him he couldn't talk, part of it was that obviously this resident didn't want a backlash, and he wasn't the only one. This person did come forward to us, but just me walking around in my subdivision over the last couple of years, there's been a couple of people who have done this. And even when you're walking by, you kind of wait until after they've shot to go by, because you're thinking, man, if they miss, and not to aim at any particular person, but when you're doing an arrow and you got 50 feet from the back of your house to your fence, you're literally 2 inches different from sailing over the top of the fence and hitting the neighbor's house than you are going into a target. So I think this was an obvious change, I know. So what does this allow you to do at this point if you re-adopt this and this person continues to put their target against their back fence and shoot at it? What does this allow you to do now? Do you go out first time and give them a warning to take it down, and then is there a follow-up where they get a ticket or a fine under our normal code, or how does it work?
It would be along those lines. I mean, obviously, there will be an educational process.
Sure.
We're not going to go, especially if somebody's out trying to teach their child to get ready for deer season or something, but we would try and educate them on that. You know, we have no desire to suddenly write tickets or arrest people for it, but
Sure.
get them to comply with safety. So then the goal is, if they don't and they continue to discharge their, whether it's an arrow or some other type of a projectile weapon, then the follow-up would be with citations.
Okay. Thank you.
Additional questions, comments, discussion? It is interesting that most people that see this as safe don't shoot toward their own house.
Right, well, that's what I
Just
was
saying.
telling us. If you're such a great shot, you're not going to miss. Why don't you put the target against the back of your house and shoot from the neighbor's fence?
Planting our own backyard. Anything else, council?
He said he had a hot
Did he just shame himself?
He shamed himself.
Shame himself. All right, that's fine. Thank you, Mr. Will. He's
On
entitled.
local television.
On local television. Tell him we're not here. Anything else on this particular item? This is a first read. If you have questions or comments, discussion that you want to ask afterwards, please contact Chief Lowe or Mr. Krischke or Mr. Derrickson as well. Thank you, sir. On the next item, I'd like to have a motion to have a first reading of bill number 14-25.
Motion?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing the city administrator to execute an agreement with the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission for the installation and maintenance of Purple Heart City signs at the east and west city limits on US Highway 60.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Brock. Give us an overview, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. As a follow-up to the city's recent designation as a Purple Heart City, it's an agreement with the Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission, MoDOT, allow us to put Purple Heart signs at our city limits on the primary entranceways into the city. That's US Highway 60. They require a formal written agreement. The terms of the agreement, essentially, the city is responsible for all installation and maintenance costs. We have signed a number of these over the years, and kind of our expectation at this point to put anything out on state highway.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Brock? Anything at all?
Have you got the signs yet?
We have not. We're going to try and order them through the Purple Heart group. They're trying to put together, typically a retail sale would cost us $200 a piece. They're trying to put together a bulk sale with a number of communities, and if they get the quantity they're looking for, then our cost would go down to about $100 a piece.
Thank you. Mr. Funkenberg.
What's the size of the sign?
2 foot by 24. The very
So it's more like the brown historic location type signs than our. I was kind of embarrassed when I went out and looked at the city park sign that looked smaller than a speed limit sign. You go past.
It is. The illustration there on the attachment of the agreement is it's 24 by 30 inches.
And just to clarify, Mr. Brock said 2 foot by 24, which
Yes.
in engineering speak, that's 24 by 30. All right?
Yeah. You caught me there.
I'd have gone with that.
Our third-party engineers in the back just has a big smile on his face. Go ahead, John, laugh. It's all right. Additional questions, comments, Mr. Brock?
It is a good looking sign though.
It's a very nice looking sign, yes.
You'll see a number of them
Yep.
around in the area.
Yes, they are. This is a first read. If you have questions, comments, discussion now, between now and the next meeting, please contact Mr. Brock. He can answer those questions. Thank you, sir. On next item, I'd like to have a first reading of bill number 14-26.
Motion? Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, setting the 2014 property tax levies for the City of Republic, Missouri.
Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Guyrights. Please give us an overview on this one.
Sure. And since this is due by September 1st, we are asking that we have the emergency second reading tonight also. So we'll get it all over with all tonight. And as I mentioned in the public hearing, it's for the 3 different funds that it supports: the general, Parks and Rec, and for street lighting. And per the state auditor's calculation, which is attached to this exhibit, that's what caused it to be so long, that you can see the calculations that they came up with. And in total, the tax levy that we are requesting is 0.6173 cents per 100 assessed valuation to fund budgeted revenues of $920,135, which was budgeted for 2014.
Thank you. Questions, comments, discussion? Seeing none, this is a request for emergency second read. Typically, we don't do that. However, on this particular situation, we always do that. Just the simple fact of the timing of the release of the data to the timing of the when it's due back. So with that, I'm going to move on to an emergency second read, and we'll follow through. We'd like to have a motion for the second reading of bill number 14-26.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, setting the 2014 property tax levies for the City of Republic, Missouri.
I'd like to have a motion for final approval of bill number 14-26.
Motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Laura, would you like to add anything to that?
I don't know. Is there any questions, you know?
Okay.
What haven't we covered?
Okay. Questions, comments, discussion for Laura? We do this every year, same time, every year.
It always is. Yeah.
Seeing none, roll call vote.
Councilmember Clinkenbeard.
Aye.
Councilmember Wilson.
Aye.
Councilmember Melton.
Aye.
Councilmember Brashears.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Councilmember Poole.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrelson.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
On the next item, I'd like to have a motion of the first reading of bill number 14-27.
Motion?
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? The motion carries.
City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, amending ordinance number 07-47 to authorize the establishment of a policy concerning the qualification of businesses under the Republic Enhanced Enterprise Zone.
Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Nigel. Please give us an overview.
Thank you, sir. This ordinance amendment is pertaining to the Enhanced Enterprise Zone, which was established in Republic in 2007. Just a brief overview and reminder on what the program's all about. The Enhanced Enterprise Zone is a state-mandated type of program that offers incentives to non-retail business for economic development purposes, and we have offered this incentive to several businesses now that we have had quite a bit of activity in the Brookline business area. McLean Grocery Distribution Center is one that took advantage of this, and it's a huge finance tool in our toolbox to offer in order to be competitive with some of these manufacturers and distribution centers. It's really almost a necessity. So the program offers a local property tax abatement, and it also offers a state tax incentive. Recently, the State Department of Economic Development changed the program a bit. It will not change at all the local amount that we are offering, which is 50% property tax abatement over 10 years for qualifying non-retail establishments. It has changed a little bit on a state level on the type of incentive that they will be offering for these businesses. Instead of offering a state tax credit, it is now a withholding tax opportunity that these businesses have, and so it really amounts to a large amount of money, actually. I'll give you an example. McLean Grocery Distribution Center typically would pay right at $700,000 in property tax abatement per year, and because they had qualified for this program, they're paying 50% of that for 10 years. So keeping that in mind, the fact that the state recently changed some of the guidelines is basically going to put more of the administrative responsibility for due diligence on the local municipalities, meaning that we just don't take what the state says why they qualify. We now have to do our own due diligence as well. Keep in mind, too, that we did do that, but it was a safety net by being able to have the state qualify those businesses before we actually qualified them as well. So what we're presenting tonight is just an ordinance amendment. At our next meeting, we will be presenting to you some policy clarification, since we will be having to do some more due diligence, and currently we are checking with other municipalities to make sure that what we do bring forward to you at the next meeting is going to be able to button up some of those loose ends.
Fantastic. Questions, comments, discussion for Ms. Nagel? tone. Mr. Harder?
I don't know, I'm trying to phrase it. Heard a lot of stuff on the radio and television about this particular tax abatement or whatever, and how much money it's costing the taxpayers. But I think for clarification purposes, people need to understand what it actually does for the municipalities. So I don't know,
You're wondering what the benefit is.
asking what the benefit is, so
Asking what the benefit
for a clarification.
Okay.
And,
Want to take this one on, or I can take it on?
I'll be,
Whatever you wanna
well,
do.
whatever you'd like.
Nope, you go ahead. You're the expert.
As far as job creation is concerned, economic development really is modeled after not filling retail space. I know we all like to have those things filled, and we like to have a new restaurant in town, but retail follows the establishment of manufacturing, distribution centers, organizations that are actually hiring people, offering all of the benefits to that. This particular program makes us competitive with other states. So McLean Grocery Distribution Center might not have happened had this particular program not been in place.
thank you very much. And again, I fully agree and support
Absolutely.
the EEZ. I just wanted that to get out as clarification.
Clarification, somebody says we're missing out on $350,000 in taxes. You're not
Exactly.
really missing out.
Exactly.
If you
You're
didn't have it,
gaining $350.
Exactly. You're gaining
Instead of losing it all,
Exactly.
you're gaining 50%. So,
Exactly.
and that's the sale thing, is that if you don't offer an incentive to come, then you get nothing.
Yes, There's my own little public service announcement.
Yes.
That's great. And thank you, because 50% of something's better than 50% of nothing,
Exactly.
Than 100% of nothing, right?
or 100%, yeah.
Thank you for
You're
your
right.
PSA, Mr. Harder. Additional questions, comments, discussion for Gail? Thank you, Gail. This is a first read. If you have questions, comments, discussion now, please between now and then, please contact Gail Clay, Economic Development Department. On to other business. Resolution number 14-R-51, a resolution of the City Council of the City Republic of Missouri authorizing the execution of a contract addendum with Olson Associates for engineering services relating to piping modifications at well number 3. We'd like to have a motion.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Welcome, Mr. Bryant. Please give us an overview, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Regulatory change that has created a deficiency in the drinking water system is well number 3. The regulation requires that when you disinfect groundwater that you have sufficient contact time for that disinfection to work before it gets to the first customer. Well number 3, built in the late 80s, I believe, wasn't designed that way. It pumps directly into the distribution system. So the correction we need to make is essentially construct a pipe that takes the discharge from the well and takes it right up to the top of the tank that allows that disinfection time to occur. We have negotiated a contract with Olson Associates to design that project for us. Mr. Forster is here tonight with that firm, available to answer any questions. This is a project that we have budgeted money for this year for design, and we expect to go to construction in 2015. A related item, the same regulation, the groundwater rule issued by the EPA requires continuous chlorine monitoring. That's another project that we are working on and we expect to go into construction in 2015 as well.
All right. Questions, comments, discussion for David? Mr. Harder?
Continuous chlorine monitoring.
Yes.
How do we do this?
Essentially, you put a sensor into the flow, into that stream of water that can detect chlorine. And on a recurring basis, generally once a minute, twice a minute, it checks to see what your chlorine level is. The regulatory folks want to see that recorded, documented, and available for inspection.
We're not doing that now, correct?
Check it daily.
Check it out.
Yes.
You do it manually?
And I want to make clear, this is not in response to any issues we've had here in Republic. In some of the shallower aquifers in other parts of the country, they have found viruses, they have seen bacterial contamination. This is one of those broad brush across the nations, everyone shall do this. It's precautionary nature for our system.
Mr. Brock, Mr. Harder had a question about, is the check daily? Go ahead and ask that question, sir.
Today, as is now, we check it daily manually?
Yes.
Manual check? Now,
Yes.
we're going to be set up not just on well number 3, but all wells for the automatic system?
That's correct.
Okay, and you're going to plan, and that's going to be budgeted for 2015?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have another well, number 4, that is non-compliant, same way as number 3. However, the location of that well, out on the west side of town, its sheer distance from the first customer, it meets the spec today. 2 years from now, 6 years from now, when there's more growth on that side of town, it probably won't. And our long-term plan at this point would then just to be retire that well.
Now, is this going to check other than chlorine, the capability of checking other than chlorine, or?
Yes. Our broader project is really a control system, a SCADA system that really is light years ahead of the system we currently have. We would expect that it's going to check chlorine levels as well as pH and temperature. It'll be able to monitor when the well operates. We'll be able to turn wells on and off from a central location. We'll be able to wells, right now we have well number 5 in the summertime. This time of year it runs for 20, 24 hours a day sometimes. We currently don't have the programming ability to go in and force it to rest. With the current and well-developed SCADA system, we'd be able to program those kind of things and react in real time.
Thank you very much.
Additional questions, comments, discussion for David? Anything at all? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Try that again. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you, David. On the next item, resolution number 14-R-52, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri awarding a bid for automatic transfer switch and authorizing the purchase thereof. I'd like to have a motion.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. David, give us the overview, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. This is another issue related to the water system. Mentioned before, well number 5, one of our prominent producers. We have a standby generator at that location, and we have a malfunctioning automatic transfer switch. Function of the automatic transfer switch. Electricity goes out, it automatically fires up the generator, switches over, restores power to the well. This was built in the early 90s. We've had problems with this transfer switch before. We've already had the motherboard sent back to the factory and reprogrammed. Came back, worked for about 3 months, and developed a different problem. Currently, it won't shut the unit down whenever we do our weekly test cycles or when it's called to come into service when we lose line power. And that in and of itself is not something that we can't correct with sending an individual out to the well. However, we think it's just indicative that it will develop larger problems. So we have solicited 3 competitive bids. Our low bid is Norton Power Systems. Their bid price $7,877 was for the supply and installation of a new transfer switch, and we're recommending council to award that to our low bidder, Norton Power Systems.
Okay. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Brock? Mr. Harder?
They do the install, we install it.
They do the install.
And that's budgeted?
It is not budgeted, however, we do have a significant amount in well maintenance, and apologize, I should have looked that up. I can get you that information. I think we're doing fairly well overall. We're on our revenue expenses, and I just have to get you specifics on how we're doing on that particular maintenance line item.
Will the downtime be done during the nighttime hours, or?
Probably during the day. As long as we have line power, then it won't affect our operations.
Dwayne couldn't find anything on eBay.
I'm sure he could.
This is not a decision we're going to leave to the chief, there's no doubt about it. David, is there a warranty on this particular item? And if so, what's the time frame?
Yes, it is. It's a manufacturer's standard warranty of 1 year.
This includes the switch and the motherboard?
It does indeed.
Okay. Both of them are well together?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Additional comments, discussion from Mr. Brock.
Is the old style on, the old style replacing that on any other units?
It is, but not on the water side. The only other facility, we have a backup generator on the water side is well 6, built in 2006. We have a couple of wastewater lift stations that have standby generators and transfer switches in this era, and we are working on replacing those as well. But we haven't had any problems with those yet. They are 20 plus years old.
And they give us a cost break on purchasing more than one. If you could, too late to probably pursue that now, but
Well, as far as the bids we solicited, it would be, we can certainly pursue that. I think it might be worth pursuing, but essentially we need to, on those locations, we're replacing not only the standby generator, the transfer switch, but the generator as well. So we're not in a position yet. We're still working on our specs to do that, and wouldn't expect to be at that point for maybe another month or so.
nice to have it standardized with backup. For future runs.
Additional questions, comments, discussion from Mr. Brock. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, sir. On next item, resolution number 14-R-53, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic, Missouri, authorizing an amendment of the Missouri Local Government Employees Retirement System loggers. Like to have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Welcome, Angela. Please give us an overview.
Good evening. Previously on July 14th, City Council approved a resolution authorizing an amendment to the benefit program for the employees to the Missouri Local Government Employees Retirement System. Our current status is an L1. You approved to go to an L3, which would increase it 0.25%. You approved to do this on or before January 1st, 2015. We're asking to implement this October 1st, 2014. It is in the budget for 2014. There are several reasons we are asking to go ahead and do this, and that it will enhance our recruiting efforts as we are looking at hiring and employing new recruits, and as a retention tool. So it serves dual. So the funds to increase are available, and we would ask that we could go ahead and put it in October 1st. And it also, I will say, will show some good faith on our part for the employees. You know, with not having a raise for 3 years, they were very appreciative of that. But with us going into the budget process, through their minds, they think this would be one thing that might and could be left on the table. So we do have the funds, and we would like to go ahead and implement it effective October 1.
Questions, comments, discussion. Mr. Clickenbeard.
What's the cost differential starting at October 1 versus January 1? What it will be the funds used?
The funds.
Dollar amount?
Just for the quarter?
Yes.
About $31,000
Because that is the question here, is you're wanting to do it October 1st versus January 1st, correct?
Correct.
So that 31,000 is the decision.
Yes, that will be absorbed this year. Yes.
Additional questions, comments, discussion. Mr. Harder?
You did say good faith. Have you heard anything from the employees about what they take on this? Excited, happy?
We sure, there's chatter. I mean, they were very appreciative, like I said, of the raise. They are apprehensive, I think is more the word. They are looking, they are looking to ensure that this goes through. You know what I'm saying?
But they are very appreciative.
They're very appreciative
of the
this.
change, And I know Angela's being a little cautious on how she says that, not to be critical to any of the staff members, but of course, people always want to see it, be approved and in place and ready to go. And that's what they bank on. And since it was approved by council, it's not officially approved until we adopt this resolution with the proper language for loggers, so.
She can be cautious, I don't have to. One of the employees talked to me and said that they were younger employee, said that they were ecstatic that not only just the raise, but this, because they want this to go into a retirement. Because over time, they're looking at this over time.
A younger,
Yes.
that's impressive.
Lots younger than me and you.
Don't have to say much on that, it could be almost anybody.
I'm not including anybody except for Daniel on this one. Anyway, yes, I can.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you.
Additional questions, comments? Anything at all? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. On to the next item, resolution number 14-R-54, resolution of the City Council of the Republic of Missouri authorizing city administrator to enter into an agreement with Employee Benefit Design LLC for insurance broker and consultant services. Would like to have a motion.
Motion. Second.
A motion and a second. Angela, give us the overview, please.
Again, previously, we brought to City Council to enter into a new contract with a new broker. We went out for qualifications. We had a committee of 3 staff members, 2 council members. I believe that's right. It's been a while. And we all agreed on employee benefit design. Council agreed to let the staff move forward into entering a contract with EBD. And due to the timing of the city's policy, we're asking to enter into an agreement from 2015 to 2017, beginning September 1st of 2014, so that the contract will actually run for 1 year and 4 months. That 4 months, if you want an explanation, we need to get to the market next week for our benefits. They're anxiously awaiting to get the information and get going for us, so they can't do that without this contract in place. So that's the reason. And in 3 years, that would, when we go out if we go out again that allows time for any other broker or the current broker to get back in at the appropriate time, because all benefits will be effective January 1.
Questions, comments, discussion. Mr. Clickenbeard?
Is the only cost, we don't incur the cost because they make a commission as a broker, is that correct? Or do they charge fees for locating and administrative and consulting services?
The fees have been broken out, and we're doing it the same as what we previously had agreed with Gallagher on the health insurance. It's netted out so that the health insurance cost is not increased to the employee. So those fees are netted out, and that's the fee that we will be paying them, which is the same as we paid Gallagher. And then they do receive commissions on the other benefits per month.
The fees that we're currently paying, it's pretty much the identical agreement as Angela had said. It's $1,500 per month, and that is basically for our health and medical, employee health and medical insurance. So we're not doubling up this year. Gallagher has been very nice to work with. We will cease our commission payments to them of the $1,500, and then that will in turn go directly to EBD, so there's no change in the budget, no additional payments that are taking place. It's going to be just a seamless transition. But in total, just to give you an idea, and this had been worked out a couple of years ago, our health insurance for the employees coverage is anywhere between $700,000 to $750,000 per year, and the typical commission is around 3%, so it's around $22,000, give or take a few dollars, of what we would pay if the commission were included within the premium. Since we're netting those commissions out and paying a separate $1,500 fee, we're saving about $4,000 per year in our commission rate on the health insurance. As Angela mentioned, the smaller things for health or for life insurance, dental, there's a voluntary vision coverage, Teladoc, and a couple of other smaller type policies that we offer. those commission schedules are much smaller and much lesser amount. Those we've not included in. This is primarily for the health insurance.
Thank you. Good question. Additional questions, comments, discussion? Anything at all? None, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you very much. On the next item, resolution number 14-R-55, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic of Missouri authorizing the city administrator to enter an agreement with Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services Incorporated for insurance broker and consultant services. Would like to have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mr. Krischke, give us the overview, sir.
Okay, this is the second part of this. When we went out for requests for qualifications, we went out both for our health insurance and then also general liability, property casualty, and workers' comp insurance. The way the requests for qualifications came back in, our interviews went, we chose one broker, EBD, for our health and benefit side, and then on our property and general liability side and workers' compensation, we chose to enter into a contract with the Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services Group. They're all one big company, Arthur Gallagher, and they did our health insurance for the last couple of years. This is a different branch and a different section of Arthur J. Gallagher. We've also got a similar contract with them. General liability and workers' compensation insurance is a little bit different. It's not as easy to net your premiums or net your commissions out of your premiums. So we had to write a separate type of an agreement with them. And at the end of the day, we're paying no more than $30,000 in total commissions for our property liability, general liability, fire, and workers' compensation insurance. Some of that can be netted out depending on the policy. Some of it will be incorporated within their premiums, but at the end of the day, their fees for all of their services for us will be $30,000. Once again, using our old numbers as an example, our commission schedule for 2014 would have been right around $32,000, a little bit more than that. So we're saving a little bit by going this direction. And they will take on going to the market, just like with health insurance, for all of our different general liability and workers' compensation coverages.
Thank you, sir. Questions, comments, discussion for Mr. Krischke? Anything at all? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Thank you. On the last item, resolution number 14-R-56, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Republic of Missouri, authorizing staff to prepare a request for proposal, RFP, for website redesign, development, and implementation of hosting consulting services. I'd like to have a motion.
Motion.
Second. Motion is second. Mr. Krischke, give us an overview, sir.
And I probably will turn this over to Councilmember Finkenbeard here to fill in the blanks, since he was the one, and on your desk is a copy of the RFP that will go out if it's approved tonight. But typically, staff will sometimes bring matters like this to City Council, especially if it's a new item that City Council members may or may not be familiar with. And in this particular case, we felt it was important that we give City Council the opportunity to hear what the IT committee is looking to do. And basically, it's going out to the market to get some proposals in to do some website redesign and implementation services. I'll leave it at that. Just to try to keep our website user-friendly, functional, the best that we can be. We as a city staff tried to make some changes not too long ago. It's not our expertise, and I don't think those changes went extremely well. And because of that, I think we lost some of the functionality that we had in place. And when we looked at the overall site, we felt like it could use some upgrade and redesign work. And the best way to go about trying to accomplish this would be to go out for a request for proposal. There's a number of firms, both local and national firms, that would certainly be qualified to take on this particular job, and we want to get their prices and services in place before we move forward. And this came, by the way, through the IT committee.
Let me add a few things before we turn over, Mr. Clinkenbeard. Our current website is a nice website. The problem is you can't access it very well through a smartphone or a tablet. It is not functional behind the scenes. We actually currently host our particular website on our servers. However, the problem is that our servers are not equipped to recognize the device that's accessing it and change over to that particular mobile website. That's an issue. Basically call it the gearing in it behind it. And in that particular case, it's very difficult to access and even to get any information other than from a computer. Those things are costly. We've been doing as much as we can with the website over the last several years, locally and hosting it ourselves. However, it's time that we move into a different realm by having that ability. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Clinkenbeard if you want to add anything to that, sir.
I know there's been some concern, especially reading through it. You see the words, redesign. People think of, oh, we're going to have to go through the hassle of getting everybody's opinion on how it's going to look and feel. And that's not the general reason for this. Our look and feel, as the mayor said, we tend to like it, but we have a foundation problem. And as the IT committee, one of our goals was to kind of find out where our limitations were and where our areas of risk and vulnerability were on our IT side. And we host the website internally on our computers, which means all traffic that hits it comes in through our internet connection here. We have one IT person, so there's a lot of security updates, maintenance. We're using a free open source engine to run our website. All those things made it vulnerable. So to do this is very inexpensive to outsource and let somebody take this over who does the best, and then just let our internal staff do the cosmetics that you just look at and see on a daily basis. But this will not only build a foundation for today to make it functional today, there's a lot of upgrade potential over time, so we won't be doing this again in a couple of years. There's things that Parks and Rec can take advantage of, things we can do for police and fire for emergency type notifications, but there's just a lot of things we can build on with this.
Mr. Mendez is also on the IT committee, wasn't able to be here tonight, but he also passed along the same sentiments as Mr. Clinkenbeard. Questions, comments, discussion for not only Mr. Krischke or Mr. Clinkenbeard themselves.
This is an item that has a potential to actually pay for itself over time. There'll be some initial cost up front, but cost is always another question once we get what those are, come in as. But just e-newsletters and things like that, printing costs and postage costs for both Parks and Rec and through our water bill. There's things that we can do that will save money pretty quickly and have a rapid return on this investment.
Questions, comments, discussion? Again, this is an RFP, not necessarily an expenditure of funds at this time. Anything at all? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Any abstentions? Motion carries.